Yes. And he had life and death against that. You know what I'm saying? So they probably just I'm just guessing their train of thought. Like Tev is 34, he's really a 30 pounder. He's coming off a layoff. Let's see how Zepeda looks against him to see how he would fare against the other guys. Now that he struggled with Tev, it's like what we got with him. So he's probably peaked out a little bit, to be honest.
Mm.
But he deserves his shot. He deserves his shot. He's been taking tough fights. He did the honorable thing. He gave Tev a rematch where a lot of times the A side don't give out rematches like that. So I give him credit because that was an honorable thing to do. Everybody wouldn't have did that. So whether you asking me, can he beat Tank? Can he beat Shakur? Can he beat Keyshawn Davis? Uh, who's the other champion? Let me see. Uh,
Loma.
Loma's another southpaw. See,
That
hell
was
no,
the
he
soft
can't.
part you was asking. That was the soft
Hell
part you
no,
was
he can't beat Loma. So there you go. In that division, you got three southpaw champions and one slick boxer. So Ted was the perfect guy to put him up against, and he struggled. That doesn't mean that he can't beat them. You asking me if he can? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say they all beat him.
Mm, fair to say. Other fight that just went by: Brian Norman Jr. defeats Derek Cuevas with a third round KO stoppage, no mas. What do you think about the performance? And did you learn anything more from Brian Norman Jr.?
Yeah, he's getting better, man. He looked good. He's getting better.
What do you think about the performance?
He looked good. Powerful, good jab, turning the hook off the jab. He's improving. You can tell he's putting in some work.
What do you how do you see his outbringing? They're talking about him possibly going to Japan, defending his title against Jin Sasaki, um and that being a good play when it comes down to making money versus unifying with Jerome Boot Tennis. What do you think about Top Rank and how they can move Brian Norman to this, he's 24 years old. You tell me.
Top rank the best in the business at that, man.
Right.
And Jolene Mazon, who is part of his management team, me and her are real like I've been around her. I worked with one of her fighters before. She knows what she's doing. So if they say go to Japan, I bet it's gonna be a bag over there. And I would expect him to win if they're willing to get up and go to Japan. You know what I mean? To risk, welterweight is historically the best division in boxing. So uh I think that is probably a good move if they're willing to do it. I don't know too much about Jen Suzuki, but I know if Brian Norman is willing to go to Japan with the team he got behind him, that it's a winnable fight and it got to be a big bag. I'm not mad at it.
Right. Right. Um, I know before you said, "Hey, Boots Ennis, Stanionis, top welterweights." Could Brian Norman Jr. be that one and two as
Yeah,
well?
he could be in it. I think Boots is the top guy, but Norman could be in it. Listen, he can fight, uh and he's young. He's younger than everybody else. If I would probably I don't think that they would make the Mario Barrios fight, but I probably would try to overpay Mario Barrios to get him in the ring so I could get the winner of Boots and Whittaker and make a super fight. Because you got two belts versus two belts, that'd be great, man. You know what I mean? But uh, I don't know if they would do that with Mario Barrios because he would be a big underdog going in versus Brian Norman, and he just had a draw against an older guy, so it kind of I'm probably saying too much because this ain't, but it probably wouldn't make sense for Mario right now unless he got a real big bag to fight Brian Norman because he just struggled in his last fight. So the appearance of it would be Brian Norman in an easy fight. I'm not saying that that would happen. I'm just talking about how the appearance would look if you was on Mario Barrios' team. So, but ideally, that would be the situation because Boots and Stanionis are going to be fighting for two belts. Norman and Barrios could fight for two belts, and then the winner could fight each other. That would be the ideal situation. But can't be an idealist when you're dealing with boxing because it don't always work out that way.